information and consultation in your country? Has it grown bigger or has it decreased during the last years?
Well, it has grown definitely in the last years, and as time goes by, it's going to grow even bigger. And the need that we communicate with the grassroots is even more demanding, and it's even more of a challenge. You have to keep in mind that there is a volume of work being done on EU level, at EU level, and our challenge is to see how we're going to create the social dialogue, not just within MCSD and music, but how we are going to report to our members at the grassroots and how we're going to involve them. Because at the end of the day, it's not just going with the feedback of the experts of UHM, but reflecting the needs of the people out there.
In your opinion, what do you think is the main need for information and consultation in your country? Has it grown bigger or has it decreased during the last years?
Well, definitely it has grown bigger, and it is going to continue growing bigger, because what we're talking about here is voluminous work at EU level, and our challenge as UHM Voice of the Worker is not only to discuss these matters internally, but that we go out there and involve our members and involve the people at the grassroots. That is the biggest challenge in the social dialogue, to reflect back the people's needs.
Country, as far as information and consultation are concerned?
Well, I think we have come way forward in the last 10 years, and through the structures of MCSD and music. However, I think we have to go to a higher level, to another level, whereby social dialogue has to start, we have to start involving children, we have to start involving adolescents at our school. Social dialogue shouldn't be something that you start thinking of when you enter the labor market, because then it is very difficult to engage somebody at the ages of 20, 30 years old. We should be roping in and talking about social dialogue with our children, because they are the next generation of workers.
Which type of organization is mainly responsible for information and consultation with employers? Are there trade unions or work councils or others?
Yes, of course. There are three main bodies in Malta involved in the social dialogue. We have the MCSD, which is the Economic and Social Committee. We have the music, and we have also the Employment Relations Board, which is also a board that discusses the law, the labor law on the national level. So those are the main structures. Having said that, all partners, all social partners then have their own systems within their own organizations of communicating and gathering information so that we can contribute within these fora.
Does it provide sanctions that are effective, proportionate and dissuasive to the infringement of the legislation?
Well, on that point, we are proposing, as a UHM Voice of the Workers, a contract portal whereby we see that what is being agreed at EU level is transferred within the national labor law. But that is not enough. Having good law on our shelves, on our bookshelves, will not reach our objectives. So we need to see that that is really transferred to our employees in the labor market. And to do that, what we are suggesting is a portal whereby every employee in the labor market will have a contract, will have a written contract, and will have a written contract that by default gives the minimum requirements, the minimum conditions of work as established throughout the whole process of social dialogue.
Know sufficiently their rights and that they are trained regarding information and consultation?
Well, trade unions, like any other profession, needs to keep itself up to date, needs to keep itself in what we call other people to do continuously, train themselves, train ourselves, both at what is going on national level and the legal framework in Malta and what's going on the collective bargaining aspect, but also to see and to be open to what's going on EU and international level, because obviously what we are doing here is not inventing a wheel, so it's good to have an eye on other best practices, to adopt them and make things better for the Maltese labour market.
Does the Maltese system provide sanctions that are effective, proportionate and dissuasive to those who infringe legislation on social rights?
No, at the moment, unfortunately, we are lacking in that aspect. We are even lacking in the sense of the structure of the Department of Industrial Relations, the sense that there should be the enforcement arm of the state as regards to see that the conditions of work are being imposed and are being enforced within our labour market. Unfortunately, we are seeing an increase, a heavy increase in the employees in the labour market, enough to mention 42,000 foreigners coming to work here in Malta. And basically, how many people do we have within the inspectorate service at the IR to do that job? Almost zero. So that in itself answers the question.